Welcome to Empowerment Echoes, the podcast where voices resonate to transform lives and inspire change. Shanie Salmon Godfrey, award-winning life and business coach, brings stories, insights, and conversations that echo through our lives, sparking growth and productivity. Every episode, we'll dive into the depths of personal development, mental health, and societal shifts, reflecting on experiences that connect us all. Join Empowerment Echo as we amplify voices that need to be heard, sharing wisdom that reverberates long after you've listened. Let's begin our journey together, transforming echoes into empowering waves of change.
Welcome to another episode of Empowerment Echoes. I am your host, Shanie Salmon Godfrey, and today we're diving into a topic that many of us love and hate. It's a love-hate relationship. And you know what topic that is? Deadlines. Yes, we are going to talk about deadlines. Is the setting deadlines a motivator or a stressor? We all have here setting deadlines. I've taught a lot of times on setting deadlines, but is deadlines something that add more stress than it's worth? Whether you're working on a project or trying to achieve personal goals or managing your daily tasks, deadlines can either be a powerful motivator or a significant source of stress. In this episode, we're going to explore both sides of the coins, discuss how to set effective deadlines, and share strategies to use them to your advantage. Let's get started. The power of deadlines as a motivator. Let's start with the positives. Deadlines can be incredibly motivating. They create a sense of urgency, prompting us to focus on pushing through tasks that we might otherwise procrastinate on. And we know that we are all susceptible to procrastination, right? Procrastination and things just popping up in your day out of your control. This phenomenon, often called Parkinson's law, it suggests that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. When we are, think about this, body in motion, stay in motion, right? So think of Parkinson's law as this. If you drag out the work will expand itself to fill that gap, right? That's Parkinson's law. When we have a deadline, we're more likely to prioritize, make decisions quickly, and avoid distractions, because you know those are unavoidable sometimes, right? Where distractions is going to pop up, but having those deadlines set is going to keep you on track when things come to distract you, whether it's a speaking engagement or another task or an invitation. Having deadlines allow you to assess those things and see if it's even worth you taking on. Consider how many times you have completed something significantly because there was a deadline looming over your head. Deadline can help us boost productivity, engage time management, and provide a clear goal. Knowing there's a time limit can help us focus and work more efficiently. The clock is ticking. We tend to move faster. Deadline forces us to prioritize tasks and manage our time better. Deadlines give us a target to aim for. Remember that moving target that you can't hit if you don't have a target set. You can't hit a moving target, making it easier to track our progress and stay motivated. Because at the end of the day, guess what? If we lack motivation, we're not going to show up. When deadlines become stressors, we talk about the positive. Now let's talk about the not so positive. While deadlines can be motivating, they can also become major stressors, especially when they're unrealistic or when too many deadlines pile up at once. Remember that planner? It helps to see it in front of you. Stress from deadlines can lead to burnout, anxiety, and a decrease in overall performance and well-being. Yes, you pack too much on your plate. Remember when we were kids and we asked for more food than we can eat? And then we end up stuffed like a meatball. And our parents tell us, stop biting off more than you can chew. Stop taking on more than you can eat. That's what we do when we pile it on together, right? It's unrealistic. We really just can't eat it all, right? But here's how you can turn those deadlines. Here's how deadlines can turn into stressors. Unrealistic expectations. poor time management, and fear of failure. When deadlines are too tight or don't consider the complexity of the task, they can create overwhelming pressure. Poor time management without proper planning, deadline can sneak upon us, leading us to last minute rushes and stress. Yes, some people said I work better under stress. No, you don't. No, you don't. The pressure to meet a deadline can heighten the fear of making mistakes or not performing up to standard, which can cause anxiety and hinder creativity. Story time. Yes, you're going to have multiple stories. You know I love me a good story. I remember procrastinating on one of my papers. Procrastinating. I had the time, but I just keep putting it off because I know what I'm talking about. I did the research and I felt like, oh, it's not going to be such big of a deal. Well, when I actually sat down and read through the instructions, I realized how big of a deal it was. And I didn't properly plan for the deadline. I stayed up all night. I did the paper. And when I got to the end, I was like, man, I can't even do the citation. It's going to take too much work to do the citation. Well, how do you know? The citation was 45 points off. And the work was already late, minus 45 points off. And I looked at myself and I said, man, all of this could have been avoided. Because here's the thing. I had to rush the work. And then I couldn't even give it my best because I needed to get to done, right? And when we fail to plan, poor time management, we set unrealistic expectations. When we are not properly planning our things or we pile everything on too much, listen, it costs us, right? Even that one bill, you know, that one bill you're supposed to pay the light bill and you say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. By tomorrow, they drop a late fee on it. And you're like, oh, I could have avoided that late fee. I could have just grabbed my phone or my iPad or my tablet or whatever. I could even do it on my watch. I could have paid that bill, but you procrastinated and that few hours made a difference. So let's talk about finding the balance, how to set effective deadlines. The key to using deadlines effectively is finding the right balance. Here are some strategies to help you set deadlines that motivate without causing undue stress. Because you know, when we fail to plan, we're building up stress and anxiety. Assess the task complexity. Often we overlook how much work we actually need to put into that task, right? That's the complexity of it. Before setting a deadline, consider how much time the tasks realistically require. Break down large tasks into smaller ones, manageable parts. Remember, do the run that you can do. And set mini deadlines for each. Be realistic and flexible. Remember, adapt when you need to. Set deadlines that are challenging yet achievable. Smart goals, y'all. Allow some buffer time for unexpected delays or complications. Flexibility is crucial. If you find that the original deadline isn't feasible, don't be afraid to adjust it as needed. Now, some deadlines we cannot adjust. Those doctor's appointment. If you have children, they have things for school. You have parents you're taking care of, work, and someone else is setting the deadline. Some things you cannot adjust, right? But what you can adjust, you do so as needed. Prioritize your deadlines. Not all deadlines are created equal. Identify which deadlines are most critical and focus on those parts. This can help you manage your workload more effectively and reduce stress. Communication. This is a big one. From C-level management to support staff to entrepreneurs, spouses, friendship, communication can make and break any relationship. Communicate clearly. If you're working with a team, ensure everyone understands the deadline and the reason behind them. Clear communication can help prevent misunderstanding and reduce stress. Everybody's job is nobody's job. Okay? If your mom walk in the room or your dad walk in the room and said, hey, someone go wash the dishes, and it's you and your 5 siblings, nobody is going to move. Nobody will make a move. You know why? The other person is expecting the other person to do it, and nobody will. That's what happens when you don't set clear expectation and communicate clearly. What's the deadline and who is responsible for what? Use deadline as a planning tool. Instead of viewing deadlines as a pressure point, use them as a tool to help you plan your work and set clear, achievable goals, SMART goals. We're going to talk about SMART goals in our upcoming segment, and you are going to find some valuable resources that can help you to set SMART goals. Now let's talk about strategy to stay motivated under pressure. Yes. Even with the best planning, there will be times when deadline feels stressful. It's unavoidable. Here are some strategies to help you stay motivated and manage stress when deadlines are tight. Break down the task. Remember, don't bite off more than you can chew. When the deadline feels overwhelming, break the task into smaller steps. Focus on completing one step at a time, which can make the overall task feel more manageable. Take breaks and practice self-care. I cannot stress enough how important self-care is. You are the machine. If the machine breaks down, you are in trouble. You are the secret sauce. If you are not operating at your best, nothing moves how it's supposed to. Working nonstop to meet a deadline can lead to burnout. It certainly will burn you out. Make sure to take regular breaks, eat well, and get enough sleep to maintain your energy and focus. Listen, I experienced this. I went through some things health-wise, and I stopped working out, stopped working on building strength. Working out is not just for looks, y'all. It's to build strength. And I realized that the weaker my physical body get, is the weaker my mind got, right? The weak. I felt like, man, I don't have the motivation. I don't even have the mindset to push through things that I could push through. And I started to realize how interconnected mind, body, soul, and spirit is. That where your body goes, your mind will follow. And I talked about this before. Being a runner on the track, the coach always tell you, your mind will make you feel more tired. Your body, because of your body, how your body feels that tiredness, that exhaustion, right? Your mind will think, okay, I'm tired. You're not tired. You can push through it. You're not as tired as you think. You just have to get your mind and your body to align with each other, right? And that comes through being strong. And strong, again, it's not about, oh, I'm working out because I want to be snatched. No, you need to be strong. When you have that physical energy in your body, you can get up and push through and do the things that you need to do to avoid procrastination, right? So, self-care. Eat well and get enough sleep to maintain your energy and focus. Exercise will do you wonders, even if that means walk. We talk about those 5-minute run. Do the run that you can do. If you have to do a 5-minute walk, do the walk that you can do. Do something, get moving. A body at rest, stay at rest. A body in motion, stay in motion. Okay? Newton law, people. Stay organized. Use tools like to-do lists, calendar, project management software to keep track of your tasks and deadlines. A few of what I like is, I love Notion. That's my number one. Then Trello. Asana is pretty good. I use Asana, but aesthetically, I'm someone that I am 100% visual. I have to be able to see it. It has to be clean, clear cut right in front of me. It can't look overwhelming. And for me, Asana can be overwhelming, but it can, for some people, they love that stack it all together look. I can't see it stacked all together, right? If you have an iPhone, Apple Reminder, listen, that is a game changer. They made significant updates. If you have a Samsung, you can use Microsoft To-Dos, right? As well as to-do lists. So there's a lot of resources that you can use to keep yourself on task and to look at your project. Long-term and short-term goal. You have your master goal, the big fish that you're going after, but then you have your smaller goals that you break it down. That's how I use my Notion, y'all. That's how I use my system. I have my master goal, and then I have sub goals, and then I break it down by month, week, and day. So staying focused can help reduce stress and ensure you're on task. Stay positive. Reframe your mindset. We're going to talk about cognitive reframing in some upcoming episode. Instead of viewing a deadline as a source of stress, trying to see it as a challenge to overcome. Maintaining a positive mindset can help you stay motivated and focused. Seek support when needed. Ask for help. We are never too smart, too old, too young, whatever it is, to ask for help. And leaders tend to fall into this, especially when leaders in ministry, pastors, ministers, and so forth. You're afraid to ask for help because you feel judged, and sometimes you will be, that you're supposed to have all the answers. None of us have all the answers. Ask for help when you need it. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the deadline, reach out, ask for help. Whether it's a colleague, friend, mentor, having someone to support you can make a big difference, okay? Story time. Y'all know I love me a good story, and I promise you multiple stories in this episode, right? So real life stories and experiences. Let's talk about them. We're going to talk about Michael and we're going to talk about Sarah. Michael's project. Michael is a project manager, found himself consistently stressed by tight deadlines. You know that if you manage any project at all, right? After analyzing his work habits, he realized that poor planning was a major factor. By breaking projects into smaller tasks, remember those subtasks, and setting more realistic deadline, he was able to reduce his stress and improve his team productivity. People don't quit job, they quit managers, okay? Managers that give you big chunk of tasks to do that overwhelm you and burn you out. Managers that don't understand that you have to break it down into bite-sized pieces. Now let's talk about Sarah. Sarah, creative block. Sarah, our graphic designer, often felt overwhelmed by the pressure to meet deadlines on creative projects. You know, if the client pay you, they want their work on time. That is non-negotiable. She learned to set mini deadlines for different stages of her work, allowing her to focus on one part of the project at a time to reduce her anxiety. You know what that also did for her? In not just reduce her anxiety, it helps to reduce the client anxiety because they can see different stages of their project coming together. Clients appreciate to see what's going on in the creative process. No one want to feel like they're left hanging, y'all. Don't leave me hanging. So by allowing the clients to see the projects at different stages through her mini deadlines, her mini goals, her bite-sized pieces, it helps the client to build more trust with Sarah and know that she has their best interest at heart, and allow the client to add their own input. Now let's talk about how you apply these principles in your life. Now that we have explored the dual nature of deadlines, how can you apply these principles in your own life? Start by reflecting on your own current deadlines, right? The deadlines that you're currently handling. Reflect on those. Do they motivate you or stress you out? Use the strategies we discussed to set more effective deadlines and create a balance that works for you. Remember, deadlines are tools that can help you achieve your goals. By setting them wisely and using them to guide your progress, you can turn deadlines into a powerful motivator rather than a stressor. As we wrap up today's episode, remember that deadlines don't have to be a burner. As we wrap up today's episode, remember that deadlines don't have to be a burden. With the right approach, they can be incredible source of motivation and useful tools for achieving your goals. It's all about finding the balance that works for you and making adjustments as needed. Thank you for joining me today on Empowerment Echoes. Again, I'm your host, Shanie Salmon Godfrey. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with your friends and leave a review. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast for more insights on personal growth and achieving your best self. Until next time, stay empowered and keep thriving.
Thank you for tuning into Empowerment Echoes, where every story shared is a ripple in the vast ocean of our collective consciousness. It's been an incredible journey today, and I hope you carry forward the echoes of empowerment we've shared. Remember, transformation begins with the smallest whisper and grows into a course of change. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube to continue the conversation and become part of our community. Join our Facebook group at Empowerment Echoes Hub. Until next time, let the echoes of empowerment resonate within you, inspiring change in your life and in the world around us.